in Bryce Canyon National Park, and what a beautiful, beautiful park this is. We're about 2,300 miles into our all-electric road trip from Minnesota to the Grand Canyon, now working our way back and enjoying more spectacular Utah national parks. We'd spent the morning coming through Zion, and now heading north to the hoodoos of Bryce Canyon. p.m. We're here at 30% just outside Bryce Canyon National Park. That last stretch from the Supercharger before Zion was 127 miles, 299.2 watt-hours per mile, and we've gone 2,349 on the whole trip. Pretty good. We're gonna plug in here and probably put on long pants because it's gonna be a little colder up here. We've seen snow. 37 cents. We're already up to 183 kilowatts, so that's pretty good. We'll just charge for a little bit while we change. So I just plugged in, sat down, and plugged in Richfield, Utah, where we're staying for tonight, and it said we'll already get there with 13%. So that's pretty good. And then I added the national park, and it's going up now because we're charging. But so we are going to do a really quick change here and head to the park. We don't have to worry about it. That's a fun surprise. Just a restroom and warmer clothes reset. I have no idea what we charge to, but we'll find out. Up to 76%. So it's saying we'll get to Richfield with 48. We'll drive around a little bit in the park probably, but that was $11.14 at 229. So let's get in the park. These things are massive. After a spin through the very busy visitor center, we found a parking spot near Sunrise Point and walked to the rim. We started north toward the Fairyland Loop, but things got steep and we seemed to be headed away from the hoodoos, so we walked along the rim back to Sunrise Point. Joan was super enthusiastic at all of the overlooks. I'm not sure if it was the colors or rock stacks that looked like kinetic sand that were doing it, but she had a blast. Is that pretty cool? It was a beautiful, colorful walk to Sunset Point, but we were behind in our time for dinner, so headed back to the car and found Valhalla Pizzeria nearby for an excellent supper. Before long, we were back on the road to Inspiration Point, Bryce Point, and most of the lookouts along the way south down the park. Joan, you like this? Pretty cool. Should we bring Mom back here? Well, forgive the crazy hair. I've been wearing a hat all day. We were just turned around from Fairview Point in Bryce Canyon National Park, and what a beautiful, beautiful park this is. Kind of got here late in the day, but that worked out. It's almost sunset now, and it's just gorgeous. The rock formations are glowing. I don't think it'll really come across as well in any of the camera shots, but Joan just loved the views here, and we had a really nice time. The walks along the rim of the canyon are pretty easy, a little bit challenging, just some quick height gains, but very doable. We did them just fine. And then for more adventures, if we had more time, you could hike down into the canyon, which I'm sure would be outstanding. So that's on the list for next time. And we're definitely going to have to come back here with Ellie. So highly, highly recommend Bryce Canyon National Park. We didn't make it all the way down to Rainbow Lookout, which is the last stop. I'm sure it's beautiful, but by the time we got there, it would be mostly in shadow. So not much point in doing that today. But if you had a day or two and were avid hikers, I would think this would be a really good spot. Obviously, Zion's probably bigger and more popular, but this was busy, but it wasn't crazy. So I'm now navigating to the Richfield, Utah Supercharger, saying we'll get there with 31%. We're staying at the Comfort Inn. I'm not sure how close that is. Maybe I'll plug that in and see what the scoop is, but we're going to get there just fine. And it's been a very long day. I'm sure by the time we get there in another about 2 hours, but long day, but beautiful, and this is our last real sightseeing day. Tomorrow, we're going to pretty much just hammer east through Utah, through most of Colorado, stay on the eastern edge of Colorado. Then Friday, go from there to southern Minnesota, and then Saturday morning, just wrap up in Minnesota. But so far, this has been just an incredible trip with so many really cool places and moments. I hope you've had fun watching it. I hope I've made it fairly entertaining in the edit and not drag out too long. But I always want to highlight like the family, adventure, places you go, and not just the charging and the data around charging. You know, I know a lot of people are interested in that, but really driving an EV and doing trips like this is about where you're going and not about the charging. The charging's kind of incidental, and especially now when it's so much easier. You can just kind of pick a spot, go. If you're hesitant about it, you can pre-plan, you know, like I did just to make a video. But most of these days, I hit the destination, say go there, and we go. And although we haven't had super fast charging times, a lot of the times we were kind of stuck there regardless because of personal reasons. So faster charging would always be welcome, but this is very livable with family needs. That's going to be bright enough to see me, but I just found out that the Comfort Inn we're staying in tonight has 2 NACS plugs for level 2 charge. Oh, the GoPro battery died, but I was saying our hotel tonight has 2 level 2 NACS Tesla chargers, and as a backup, the Supercharger is right next door. We'll finish driving through these striking mountain silhouettes, past Butch Cassidy's childhood home, and up to Richfield soon. It is 9:33. We're here with 32% at the Comfort Inn. Since our last charge was 127.6 miles, 197 watt hours per mile, 2,476 on the trip so far, with an average energy of 295.7. That should go up tomorrow as it's going to be 99% interstate driving. I was excited on PlugShare to see that the Comfort Inn here, they've got a couple Tesla wall connectors, and I see there's a Bolt over there charging. And when we checked in, another Tesla was parked in the main turnaround, so they were here before us. I assumed they were going to use the other one, but the Bolt is still the only car over there, so I'm going to go in and use that level 2 overnight. And even though the Supercharger is next door, I assumed I'd have to just plug in the morning when we ate breakfast, which would have worked out fine. But this will be better, and I think it's free for hotel guests, so make use of that. Let's get over there and see what the situation is. As I pulled out, I ran over something. Couldn't figure out what it was. It's my microphone for my camera, which is now completely pulverized. That stinks. I use this all the time. How annoying. All right. Charging. It does say for hotel guest use only. Okay, I changed the amps down to 32 and our charge limit to 95%, and it should get us there about 5 a.m. local time, which is 6 a.m. to me, so that should work out. I should be up by then, and I can come and unplug it at that point. If there wasn't a Supercharger right next door, I would set this to the max speed, just get up early in the middle of the night whenever it happened, whenever I got to the charge limit, and then I would move just so someone else could have access. But with a Supercharger just on the other side of the hotel, I don't feel compelled to do that, and so I just bumped it down a little bit. I'll still be off pretty early in the morning. Anybody who needs a fast charge is going to use the Supercharger anyway. But Joan's already asleep, and I gotta grab a couple things. I will be asleep before too long too. Just gotta dump the footage for the day, all our cool adventures, make sure they're backed up, and we actually have videos for this adventure. But I'll see you in the morning. It's a lot more quiet before 5 a.m. out here. But we got up to 95% last night. As I woke up, as I was getting ready, it stopped, so I set the limit back to 100% just so it would keep going. I'll wrap this up and then try to find an open spot somewhere. But nice to wake up to a full charge. 4:58 a.m. and it doesn't look like it charged us. So free charging is awesome. Thank you, Comfort Inn. Now, the only downside is it's 5 a.m. and the free breakfast at the hotel starts at 6 a.m. So I'm going to go up, shower, and do some editing. Get Joan up around 5:45. We'll get some breakfast, get back on the road. Today's power through Utah and Colorado. I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but the green light is on in the dash, saying that the Bolt also got charged up. Looks like they're packed up for a road trip too. There you can see it. So they're ready to roll too. Good news all around. You ready to roll this morning, Joan? You ready to climb some mountains today? With the car at least? Alright, let's go! Alright, 95%, 6:57 a.m. We're navigating to Sterling, Colorado. And we got a few charges to get us up over the mountains. Then coming down, it's going to be pretty easy. We've had a lazy morning, the sun's coming up, and we gotta hit the road. Let's roll. Good morning. It's just after 7 a.m. Just got on the interstate. We got wagons east heading toward the mountains. Sun coming up behind some clouds, so that's actually nice for glare. Speed limit here is 80 miles an hour. There's not a lot of traffic, so I don't think we have to stay up that high, but we might see if I can keep pushing autopilot or FSD to stay up that high. I don't really mind if it drops to the high 70s at this point, but we're heading to Sterling, Colorado, I believe, tonight. Saying we'll get there at 4:42 p.m. But I think I don't know if we go through another time zone or not. I don't think we do. So I probably could have planned more into this day, but we might stop somewhere in Colorado and try to have a little fun around Grand Junction to break the day up a little bit. We'll see how the weather's holding up. We got a big climb into Colorado, but I'm hoping, since we're going east, I'm hoping the wind is kind of at our back most of the time, for this stretch anyway. Had a short night, so Joan might get a little nap here this morning. Still kind of dim out. Decent breakfast at the hotel with the Comfort Inn, nothing to write home about. But free level 2 charging overnight. It's fantastic. Looks like our next stop is Green River in an hour and 46 minutes. And we'll get there with 29%. So that's kind of high. I'm not sure that we're optimizing here, but again, we're not in a huge rush today. It's more comfort and getting miles packed on the road. We've mostly been in connectivity dead zones here, coming toward Green River, but we did get a weather warning pop up on the phone about heavy rains causing flash flooding in the lowlands and things. You can see there's a pretty good storm to our north. I don't think that's going to affect us. We'll see how things progress as we get closer to Colorado, but hopefully we're going to drive right south of that, pass under it. So while there's no internet, Joan's just stuck with Dad singing, "And the skies are not cloudy all day. Joan, Joan on the range, where the deer have yet to play." We may have got off one exit too early on Green River, just doing FSD, but we're now driving through town instead of staying on the interstate for this couple miles. So that's weird. It's saying we'll get there in 2 minutes. My only concern is that storm is getting closer, and if we're going to pause to charge for a few minutes, it's going to catch up with us heading east. We'll try to make this a quick stop and get ahead of it. All right, Green River, Utah, 28%, saying 13 minutes to continue. Last trip was 126.9 miles, 312 watt hours per mile, which isn't bad for 80 miles an hour. 2,603 on the whole trip. Let's plug in. There's a Pilot Sinclair across the way. And it looks like we got windshield washer fluid, which is good. 36 cents a kilowatt hour, so that's not bad. We're already up to 153, 156, so 29%. We're not gonna see a huge rate, but that's okay. Let's get that windshield clean. Scrub that windshield. Scrub it, scrub it, scrub it. Good job. We're at 60%. We just got the windshield cleaned and did a little restroom stop. When we got back to the car, ready to roll, it's now saying if we stay here 15 more minutes, we'll go right to Parachute. So I think we're gonna run back, get some supplies at the store that I forgot to grab, and we'll just do that. We'll cut out an extra stop, because I think the one it was having us go to is the one we did on the way down that was way off the road. So let's see what Parachute has instead. And so we're gonna go to the convenience store and be back in a few minutes. All right, we're somewhere in the 80s. Took a little while to get out of the convenience store. There's a line, but we're at 86%. Okay. And saying we'll get to Parachute with 13. That charge was 13.59. All right, well, that was an adventure. That parking lot's in real rough shape. So bad that I thought we were going out the entrance or exit, and we hopped over the curb because we weren't anywhere near the entrance. So there's that. Could use a pave job. Oh, we're on the move. Something I wanted to do on this trip. The superchargers, at least in Utah and most of the way, have been pretty inexpensive, like 36 cents a kilowatt hour. So that's been really good. But I did want to try to hit an Iona or two, see what else was out here, because I know especially in Colorado there's a lot of different options. So right now we're navigating to the Parachute Colorado Supercharger, but we'll see if there's an Iona, what the price is there, and if it makes sense to go there. If this price is the same, it might just be fun for a change of pace, do something different, give you guys something different to look at least. But while we were in the convenience store, Joan picked out some licorice, so I think she's getting antsy for me to break that out. We'll see you on the way or in Parachute.
Thanks for calling in once again, Bry Guy. And special shout out to Joan. Thanks so much for listening, Joan. You're awesome. We love you. Hope you're having a great time.
I imagine they are, Ton, and I'll tell you why. Because on the drive back, they're going to be listening to tonight's program with Puddle of Mud. Man.
Maybe we need to apologize ahead of time for that one.
So great.
And Brian, you're such, I hope you realize, I'm sure you do, just from speaking to you, but how lucky you are to go on these road trips and spend this this kind of time with your daughter. And it's just awesome. It's just really cool. I love it.
You guys are right, though. I'm very lucky to be able to do these trips with my daughter. She's a great adventure partner. Joan, can you say thank you to Mr. Ben? Can you say thank you with your device?
Thank you.
Yep, she could have stayed here all day, but we got to keep rolling. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next time through. The best part from my perspective is it was literally right off the highway. So one stop sign, you take a left, you're there. And then back on the highway was just as easy. So excellent stop if you need to break up the day in western Colorado. We are in Parachute at 11%, noon, 70 degrees. It's getting beautiful out there. And it's saying to stay here for 10 minutes. We know how likely that's going to be. But let's get charging and see how that goes. That last stretch was, since our last charge, 145.8 miles, 307 watt hours per mile, and 2,749 on the trip so far. To see a Ford Lightning here, 33 cents a kilowatt hour. Pretty nice. We'll take it. Nice, we're getting close to the max. Coming in low with a warm battery. Looks like we topped out at 245. Alright, I was just looking up another activity we might do, but didn't work out. In the meantime, we got up to 52%, and it's saying we have enough to get to Edwards with 12, so that's plenty. 932, we're up to 53% at 1213. So I was just looking at, I think it's called the Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park. Another suggestion from Ben. They've got a restaurant at the top of the mountain that's got like a panoramic view, and you take a gondola ride up to the top. So that would have been pretty cool, but the next gondola ride available was at 4 p.m. It's noon now, and we get there in like an hour, and that would just kill our day. So we'll try to do another rest stop or a fun pull out somewhere. We're making a pit stop in Glenwood Canyon at the Grizzly Creek rest stop. See what this is all about. We're at the rest stop with 31%, just after 1 p.m. And we are in the canyon. And there's the creek. Well, it was a nice little pullover. The water was pretty cold for dipping feet though, so we didn't stick around too long, but Those are the kind of roadside stops I like to stop at or would like to stop at. We're always in such a rush, but today we've got a decent buffer and we're still going to get to the hotel at a decent time. So a couple of these little stops just help break up the day, add to the enjoyment instead of just barreling through on the highway. As we join the trucks heading up the mountain, we'll sign off for today. Like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one, where we'll cross Vail Pass, fight the winds again in Nebraska, have a little mishap. Well, that's not good. And more on our way back to Minnesota. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and happy road tripping.